Hello, Ouroboros gamers. We have Zach and John here today.
Squatch.
Squatch in the house.
Squatch, not squash.
I said Squatch. Anyway, so I'm in the room, in the studio with Zach and John, as I just said. And guys, you were just at a Age of Sigmar tournament, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. We were in Seneca at Knight's Blade gaming there. It was fantastic. The experience was really great.
Excellent.
I do want to put a shout out to Aspiring Champion Painting.
Yeah.
His work was outstanding.
So cool. So good. Check him out. He's on Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, just, tell me about your day there. I wasn't there, unfortunately, so tell everybody what you thought, any kind of highlights of the day.
Yeah. Well, John and I arrived early. You guys saw our video already. It's on YouTube. It's a prior video. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look at it. We arrived pretty early at 11 o'clock. We left Binghamton at 7 a.m. because we wanted to be there and to do pre-sign up. So we got there. It was nice. I was kind of surprised because the shop was a little smaller than what I was anticipating. But they had so much stuff there that they definitely compensated for the small space. Immediately, right off the bat, it felt like it was a very comfortable, inviting space to me. I don't know, what did you think, John?
Definitely for a bigger crowd, it would get very cramped. But for the low amount of people that showed up, unfortunately, the space was just fine, especially being a bigger guy. I had plenty of room to move around.
Yeah. Awesome. So give a brief synopsis of your games.
Why don't you go ahead and go first?
I had a bye round one, and so I sat around poking fun at Zach all game one.
He had a good time. My game one was interesting because John was there picking on me the whole time because I made a big mistake. So I was playing against Stormcast Eternals, and his entire army was...
It's currently deployed.
Yeah, it was deployed with nothing on the field. So I made a really bad mistake, and I deployed across the line of the entire field, thinking that if I split my forces, he can't overwhelm them at one point. What he did is he just picked my units off one by one. The most memorable moment of that entire game was round one. He comes down, bam, lightning storm, they're summoned on the field, and Tyrion, the general of my army, dies first round. Doesn't even get a chance to do any type of combat because, he gets reborn in the game of Age of Sigmar, and I roll to see if he gets reborn, and what do I roll? A 1, and he fails. So for me, that was like, if I could only have lived one more turn, he could have done some damage. But for me, that was the most memorable.
How about game 2?
Go ahead.
That was you two, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Game 2 was us. Zach has been playing against me pretty much a week and a half prior, so he knew very well how to play against my army and its strengths and weaknesses, and magic and shooting was pretty much the enemy. Plus, bringing such a small model list that packed such a huge punch, all these objective games that based you on having a number of units sitting on an objective or a hero, it really hurt my chances of doing things, though my entire goal was to table people, which failed horribly.
Yeah, well, he's right. We both, and this is my first tournament ever being to, I think it was yours as well, right?
For Sigmar, yes.
For Age of Sigmar. So we wanted to practice, and I tabled him round 3 in the second game. But he's right in the fact that he naturally had a disadvantage because it was about objectives of he had to have 5 units at each objective.
10 models is...
Right, his whole army was comprised of 10 models, and you had to, in order to win, you had to control 2 objectives. So he literally had to have his entire army on 2 objectives. Well, I had something around 60 models on the board. So he naturally had a disadvantage. I felt kind of bad because also we've been playing together, and I kind of knew how to play against his army. And I actually helped him pick which army he was going to take that day to the tournament, so I knew what he was going to do. So that was a pretty sad one. I felt bad because I had to go over and tell I guess I was ruthless too. I should have been maybe more gracious. But
how about game 3, John?
Game 3 was against the Stormcast player that he played, and Again, this gentleman there was another guy who wasn't present, but he played ogres regularly, and the Stormcast guy knew exactly how to play against them, what was a threat, where the threat range to stay away, and he had the mobility that I had the same amount of mobility, but I just didn't have the models to contend with him, and he had just as many wounds as I did to soak up the damage.
Zach?
And
Well, it's important because it was an objective-based game as well. All of these games were, and the third round was
3 points of power.
you had you had to control 3 objectives. For those of you who aren't
Oh,
familiar with it, you have to control 3 objectives with a character, and for each turn, the stack of points you get increases. Anyway, so the guy I was playing against, it was Chaos, and he had a Scarbrand, he had a Bloodthirster, he had 3 other characters. So I was actually really proud because by the end of the game, by the end of turn 5, I had like 3 times the number of models on the field that he had. I was just really wiping the floor with him, but
Nice.
I couldn't get the objectives because he had these huge characters there. So I was picking off his characters one by one, and I actually lost the 3rd game, even though if by standard victory I would have just like swept the floor with him. I totally lost because of objectives. But I mean, the outcome was that I still won 3rd place of the tournament overall. So I was really
Nice.
happy leaving it.
All right, guys.
I was really hoping to play your 3rd round opponent because him and I had a gentleman's agreement that since he brought an all aggro corn list and I bought a all aggro beast claw raiders list, we were just going to have a slobber knocker slugfest throughout the
Oh, that would have been fun.
It was so
No,
cool.
we don't care about objectives, just going to table each other.
Run to the middle of the board and punch each other.
These guys they were so cool. They were all about experiencing the game, and that the spirit of the game was really there, present at Knight's Blade, and that's what I most enjoyed about the day.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Ouroboros gamers, we have Zach and John giving their thoughts for the Age of Sigmar tournament. We look forward to doing our own tournaments coming up here in 2017. So let's keep an eye on that. And happy wargaming, everybody.
Bye, guys.